Hey,
Hey
y'all.
y'all.
I hope you've had not just a good day, but a great day. So, tonight we have a special guest. Geraldine is coming to welcome you and to give our statement. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Leah Faggott's Swimming Lessons. Remember that this show is for entertainment purposes only, and it is only the opinion of the creators.
Yes, our advice is only our opinion.
Did that sound British? I don't know what yours would be called. Southern British, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
My tongue just won't work like that.
But anyway, there's this show on YouTube, and children love to watch it because it teaches them about letters and sounds. So I just found Geraldine at Amazon or something. The one on YouTube has a little feather in her hair. So I took a
Yeah,
paper clip and we was making a turkey one day with these feathers, a paper clip, and pinned it in there. That sounds like something you would do.
absolutely. It looks like you bought it with it. Yeah,
So it's so
yeah.
cute. And the kids, they just love the puppets. So we have a question. This one is written to both of us as well as our last was. So it says, Advice in Southern Tales. I have 3 children. 2 are teenagers that are driving me crazy. Any advice? Help! Exclamation mark. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Well, we can both relate to teenagers.
Yes, we can. And I
Yeah.
can say, you think the young times in your kids' lives are the hardest, but it wasn't for me. I don't know about you, Amanda, but teenagers were
No, it
tough.
wasn't for me either.
It, like, looking back, it was easier with babies than teenagers. What do you think?
Well, it's hard any which way you look at it. You are living the moment and it's good,
Right.
but when they become teenagers, they get to talking back and stuff.
That's right. And that's why I think it may be easier when they're little and you can control them better.
Exactly. They get smart when they become teenagers.
And they forget that everything they have is due to you.
And we have lived teenage life before. So we know most of the tricks, just not all the technology tricks.
Well, yeah, and that would be tough because I remember even when text first came out, I didn't even know what a text was. And Will was on the phone texting, I think, with John Walker and Betsy.
My first time I ever got my Verizon bill, and I opened it up thinking it was going to be like 200 and something dollars, and it said 600 and something dollars, and I was like, what? And then I called them because I thought they had made a mistake, and it was because back then I didn't have unlimited texting. I don't even know if they had that then. They gave me a lot off, but I still had to pay some, and from that point on, I got unlimited texting when they offered it because I was shocked. It cost 400 and something dollars extra for my
It,
bill.
it was 10 cents a text because we got one of those
Well, I
$600
guess
phone
there's
bills too.
texting every second of the way.
Well, it wasn't just them texting. If somebody sent you a emoji, that cost 10 cents. If they'd had those group texts like they do now, and it's like ding, 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 when somebody gets on a prayer list or just sharing something with a group, it is like ding, 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 ding. It'd be like a slot machine of our phone bill going up.
Except we wouldn't get no money dropped out of the bottom of it.
I don't even think slot machines do that anymore, man.
They probably don't. That's the last time I went, when
Well,
they did.
I don't like gambling. I don't like to lose my money. But now I have friends that go that they win every time.
Well,
You think that's true?
there was a time when I did like to go just because that was a form of entertainment for me. And when we would go, that was special. So I would just take me, how much ever I was going to spend. And if I lost it, then I said, well, I would have spent that going to the movie or going to the mall. I just took it as if that was my entertainment. But no, I never came home with any money
You were trying to hit it big, weren't you?
to the very last minute. If it had hit, it would have made them a lot of money because what they would have captured if they had filmed it would have been
Right, but you probably turned around and put it all back in there.
No, I probably would have gone home by then.
I've just always wished I could win one of those cars they give away because they
Me
have,
too. They were so pretty up on that little spinning thing.
well, they have billboards down here because we're so close to the boats in Biloxi.
What? We would have passed out cold if we had won one of them cars.
I would love it because I need a new car.
Yeah.
My car is back in the shop and I'm sick of driving that big old truck of Eddie's, that Platinum Ford. And
So he could go out and buy him a platinum truck, but he told you to go get you a Pinto. Like in them movies in the
yeah. And so I think one of our friends had one growing up. But I
Hey,
can't remember.
my neighbor had one, and I had to ride to school with her every day in that Pinto, and it was brown. I was embarrassed even in the first grade.
I hope I'm not hurting anybody's feelings because it's a great car, a Prius. It's hybrid, and that's what Will bought. And he
Mhm.
bought that thing on the internet. Like, who
He
buys a
did.
car on the internet? Young people. I mean, you got a week to test it out. But
I never
anyway,
have, but I never
we
have
have,
bought one on the internet. But when I go in, I like to go into the dealership because I feel like I have tattooed on my forehead, rip me off, and I like to go and get it there. But I tell you what, I don't care anymore as long as it's got four wheels and it gets me where I'm going. I could drive a go-kart. Good.
I remember one time when we had kids, I had this Bonneville. Do you remember my black Bonneville?
Yeah. Yeah, when you went over a bump, those cars would float on air.
It drove great. It was a great car. But when we got a promotion, we moved to Alabama, and he said, we need a bigger car because our family was growing. So he decided he was going to go find one. I didn't care. And I had that little Mazda 626, so he was going to trade it in. They didn't have Facebook Marketplace. Now, I wouldn't trade a car. I'd sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I have sold several cars on there. I sold my mama's car because she went legally blind and she couldn't drive.
He went and found you. What did he go looking for?
He was just looking, and he found that Bonneville at a used car lot. It only had 7,000 miles, and it was like 2 years old. We were like, if they roll the miles back on this car. But
Yeah.
anyway, he thought it was a good deal. And do you know a while later he found a number in the glove box and a name, and he called those people up. He said, I just want to know like why this car had so few miles on it. They said, oh, he's passed, but he loved that car. And they just sit in the garage for a couple of years, I guess, and then they decided to sell it. But they said, he washed that car. He loved that car. I enjoy.
She had one of those Pontiac Bonnevilles, and I remember we'd go to church on Sunday down there in Bartleman, and it'd be right on empty. And we'd be like, we're going to go slow because then we'll make it there and back. That thing would float.
Eddie. So he invented something, and we moved to Alabama. He'd gotten a promotion. He made this invention for the company he worked for, and it saved millions of dollars a year.
Really?
Okay, so they put it in all the plants. Well, when it was time for his bonus, he got like enough to go buy me a new car.
Mhm.
So he wanted me to get a minivan because our family was growing once again.
Yeah.
He was like, you need a minivan. And I'm like, they look like dustbusters. And he said, well, what do you want? And it was the year 2000. I said, I want a Suburban. And they had just come out with the new model where the front was rounded. It was kind of a golden color.
Yeah. Well, I'd have been feeling like I was driving a school bus.
Well, I did. I knocked down a couple of basketball goals in the beginning because, we didn't have that mirror and stuff that you can see behind you. So one time I almost ran over Will because he was in the Wendy's bathroom and I was pulling out. He came running outside. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know you were in there because I had so many dang kids in that suburban.
Sure.
We had a lady that worked in our church nursery.
Yeah.
And also when I would go do storytelling, she would come to the house and babysit for me because I worked part-time. And I also did some like teacher training and stuff like that. Well, one day we found out that she had to walk to work. It wasn't a short walk, like from my house to your house, even growing up. I would say 5 to 6 miles, a pretty good
Wow.
way. And so she worked in our nursery as well. And one day we didn't trade the Bonneville when we bought the Suburban, okay?
Mhm.
Because he was going to sell it.
Mhm.
And we had it, I think we got an ad in the newspaper and paid money, those little
Yeah.
squares.
Yeah.
And we tried to sell it and it fell through a
In
couple
the
of
want
times.
ads.
Yes, that's what it was called. You
Mhm.
had to call the paper and tell them you wanted the ad and you had to send them a check or whatever. I don't even think you put stuff on credit cards back then. I think I had a
We
gas
didn't.
card. I don't even think I
Yeah.
had a credit card. I had a gas card. I'll tell you about this Bonneville. So that lady walked to my house to babysit and we hadn't sold the car and Eddie said, I think we need to give that car to Hazel. And I'm like, what? And he said it again. Okay. I said, let's do it.
That
That's
was
all
so
I,
nice.
because we had been blessed
No. And I
with
bet
that
she
bonus.
loved that.
She thought it was a joke. I remember driving out to her house and her sister didn't have any legs and they would prop her up on the car. She's probably dead now, but bless her heart. They would take her up to the Tom Thumb gas station and just sit her in her wheelchair all day. And she was so friendly. Like if you went in there, she'd talk to
Mhm.
everybody. They had her sitting outside on top of the car. And I said, where's Hazel, Rosie? She said, she's in the house. Knocked on the door and she's like, come on in. So I did. I said, I need you to come outside for a minute. And I remember Eddie was there and he said, Hazel, he said, we've watched how hard you work. And he said, we think that you deserve this car. Wasn't that nice?
I mean,
And
that was
Rosie, her
so
sister, was
nice.
like, she was up on top of that car and she's like, go Hazel, go Hazel. And it was so cute. And we had gone and filled it up before we took it to her.
Yeah.
And she rode around in that car all day around the square, like we had a square where I live, like we used to in Houston
Mhm.
or Calhoun City. That was a big place. But I
Yeah.
bet they burned half that tank of gas that day.
Just riding
But
around.
I talk about Eddie, and I'm not saying he's perfect because I know who he is. But
Nobody.
that's one of the nicest things. I don't even know if my children know that story, but they need to
They about to find out.
if they listen. Hey, if I just make all my kids, we can't make them, they're adults, but if they like and follow our show, that'd be a lot. If you made it this far, guys, like and follow our show. And you got a little scam today on the email, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah, it was like this email that came to us. We want you to be on our podcast. We want you to interview. It costs nothing, but it'll take, just your time. Well, I kind of thought it was a scam. But then it had a link on it. And I think when I clicked on that link, I hope I don't have a virus. I should not have done that. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. I don't do anything. They'd have to come knock on my door for me to respond. And then they may not get me to respond.
Well, I was just hoping, somebody would want to interview with us, but
I
it looked
know, but I
legit.
told you now, that'd make me nervous.
Well, it'd be just like getting on here.
It would.
I mean, I don't think we could do it in person. Not right now.
I don't think so either. It'd be all right.
Now, if somebody invited us to the Today Show or something like that and paid for our hotel and all that, we'd work it out. Because that'd be fun. We can probably count all the cars I've had on one hand. Can you? No, I mean on two hands. See, I said that dyslexic.
Yeah, on two, I think. Yeah, but my husband never knew I went and got a car. One time I told him I went to Blockbuster and I came back with a new car. Because,
That's
I
funny.
paid my payment by myself, so I just
Yeah.
go get whatever. Because if I talked to him about it, he would disagree, and so I just bypassed that.
Right. Well, speaking of
Yeah.
fees, like we were on those texts, remember how Blockbuster used to make you pay all those fees?
And I was always late getting them back.
I was too. And have like 10 because they'd
Yeah.
want some games and some movies.
I'm remembering what you told me about Will about the phones, how he called the phone company and told them y'all
Yeah.
were. That was clever.
Well, that's why back to the question, raising teenagers is tough. And you just have to say your prayers and hope for the best. But yes, he got in so much trouble after all those texts. So then we said, no texting. Well, he wanted the text because that was the thing. He had it turned off. So the one we had, and you know how you used to get under these contracts and you could not get out like that. It was like signing your life away, especially when you had
Exactly.
multiple lines. Yes. And they called my husband at work one day and they said, Mr. Thaggart, we understand that you're moving to Alaska. And he's like, and so then I think we moved to a new house and our phone didn't work as good. Or so he took that opportunity to tell them we were going to file a complaint with the FCC.
Acting like he was y'all.
I guess. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't even know back in that time, I didn't even know how to get online and do stuff like,
Mhm.
contact people. I just knew how to search something. Or he called them so many times. They sent us all new phones. They still didn't work. And he was right. Like we didn't have as good a service. But the whole reason he was trying to get the unlimited text. So finally, he bugged them so much. Like they were like, Mr. Thaggart, we're going to let y'all out of your contract. Anyway, we went up to the wherever we swapped to.
Yeah.
All got us the new iPhone 1, me and the 2 older boys. So we brought Eddie home the free phone. And we got some. He was like, take this back. I want a phone like y'all got.
Well, see, that's like him going out and buying that platinum truck and then telling you to go get a Pinto. He got the Pinto in that deal.
That was funny.
And y'all thought y'all were going to pull that over his head.
Well, yeah, we all had the new iPhone.
Yeah. I was thinking that when he called and acted like he was y'all on that phone bill, well, my garbage one time got cut off because I forgot to pay that bill. And it was in Ed's name because he had signed us up for it in the beginning. And I called because I paid that bill. And they said, oh, we're sorry, we can't talk to you because this is not so and so. So I just hung up and then I called back and I was like, this is da, 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 da. I was like, and they said, okay, they talked to me after I said that was my name and changed my voice.
Well, one time Eddie was working on an air conditioner and this dog chased him because
Mhm.
it was like a Doberman or something.
Mhm.
Ed used to have those growing up because I
Yeah.
remember his house was through the woods from my house, and I saw those big 2 dogs come up my driveway one day, and I jumped in the back of my daddy's truck.
Mm.
I scared of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie got chased by Doberman, and he had to jump in the swimming pool. He jumped in with his phone, his wallet, everything, because that dog. And finally,
Mm.
he couldn't get out. It's like he'd go to the ladder, and the dog would run over there. And he would swim to the stairs, and that dog would come over there. He stayed in that pool like 2 hours.
I
And
bet he was
finally,
wrinkled up.
finally he said, I gotta go. Like, our business was through his cell phone.
Yeah.
And so he goes up to the cell phone place and they're like telling him after he's had all this 2-hour drama with this dog, I need a new phone. My phone's ruined. I jumped in the swimming pool and he was wet. And they were like, we have to call your wife and get permission. And he's like, she's not my dang mama. I'm paying for it. Here's my credit card. And they made him so mad, he walked out of they were new in this school district, and they were like, y'all need to come up here for a conference. And going up to the conference, I told my husband, listen, I may need a job here one day, so you got to be very professional.
Mhm.
And get in the conference, and the principal's in there, and the teacher. I mean, it's like a big deal. And I can assure you, and he will never do that again. But Eddie's like, I wish he'd just whooped his ass and got it out of the way. And I'm like, I will never get a job here.
We did get paddling.
Well, we did, but a lot of people don't believe in that now, and you'd have that ruler and pop us on the hand. Mama had a
Yeah,
fly swatter.
we got plenty of spankings with the paddle too in school. Yeah, and the switch.
Well, I think not all the people we know got paddlings growing up.
Not all of us, but in our age group, it was done.
Yeah,
We did.
mostly everybody had at least been paddled once because there's one teacher, she used to line the whole class up, go outside and get a paddling.
Two
Remember that?
times that happened to me in school. In school, it was for me being late because I didn't want to serve attention, so I'd just take the paddling, get it over with.
I would have to do the same thing. And on the days I worked, I didn't have a choice. I had to go to work because I was a grocery checker. I don't even think it's there anymore. I think it may be something else.
It's not.
I think it's a liquor store.
Maybe.
Because it's right there behind that Walmart and center. And let's see, it was just Foodway. Was something else in there? I guess it was Walmart because Walmart didn't have groceries.
Yeah.
Yep, and Walmart's still there. They should have bought that instead of that liquor store
and expanded it.
Done a super center.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I hate to shop at Walmart. Like, I guess they'll never be our sponsor, but I don't like shopping at Walmart because it's so big and I get so distracted. I could be in there like 2 hours going in there to pick up a few things. Like, I'll be like, oh, they got their Halloween stuff out. But I'm not as bad as I used to be because now I just do the drive up and I just have my list.
That would definitely save you money because I can't go in the store with the list and come out with everything on the list and then I have 15 things other than what was on the list. I mean, I like get sidetracked.
Yes. And so they don't ever go to the grocery store hungry that you will spend a lot more money.
I know.
Well, I guess tonight, if you have listened to the show this far, then like and follow our show. And Amanda, any closing remarks?
Just always be nice and happy and be kind.
What's our logo? Love others and
be kind.
That's right. Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.